And here in Paris, police say they are banning the Freedom Convoy that's planned for the weekend. Police say people blocking roads will face up to 2 years in prison, a 4,500 euro fine, and a 3-year driving ban. Protesters, though, have already set out from southern France on their planned move up to Paris and then on to Brussels to talk a bit more about this French Freedom Convoy. Let's bring in France 24's Armin George. And Armin, with this Paris ban, it seems like the authorities are pretty nervous about this.
I think they are, because it's quite a robust statement now that we've had from the prefect of the Paris police. And, you know, I think more generally the movement in France, which opposes COVID restrictions, is always looking to what's happening in other parts of the world and trying to latch on to anything that looks like the tide is turning in their favor. The Canadian events obviously fit that narrative very well. The fact that Justin Trudeau has been in more difficulty than perhaps the Canadian government anticipated, that is, in a way, wind in the sails of the anti-COVID restrictions movement here in France. The truckers in France are actually not subject to a vaccine mandate. That's an important difference. In Canada, they were made to be vaccinated. That's what sparked off the movement in Canada. Here in France, truckers have actually had their own canteens where they can eat without showing the health pass. So the French government was far-sighted enough to exempt truckers from this vaccine obligation that it has put other people like nurses, for example, under, for the same reason that they didn't have police. They didn't have a mandate to vaccinate the police because, again, they didn't want to alienate the police. After all, it's the police that implements lockdowns, curfews and everything. And the French government correctly linked the issue of supply chain with national security. That's why it exempted truckers from any vaccine mandate here in France. The Canadian government didn't do that, and therefore it found itself in quite serious difficulty.